Welcome to the Biblically Discerning Podcast, where we seek to have intentional and thoughtful conversations about theology and life. We want to walk in truth and grace the way that God designed us to live. So with that said, let's get into this week's podcast. This is going to be a quick episode. I wanted just to talk a little bit about maybe a name change, and I think we'll dive more into this topic at a later time. But scriptural holiness as a title instead of biblically discerning. And this came about yesterday while talking to a friend of mine, and how one of my desires is that we keep scripture holy was the essential thing I was saying, but I didn't say it that way. She told me that. Because what I was trying to say is, how progressives, liberals, and other different camps kind of take scripture out of context and contort it to whatever they want to believe. And so she told me about this term that John Wesley kind of came up with, which was scriptural holiness, where you don't have a systematic theology, which systematic theology is just having a coherent, consistent view of all topics in the Bible of your theology, pretty much is kind of the synopsis of it. So Baptists have one, Catholics have one, Calvinists have one, probably other people do too. Those are just the three that I know of. But he didn't want to have one because he believed that having a systematic theology takes you away from Scripture and what it actually says, and you just believe it because it works in your framework, not because it's what God says in Scripture. So that's kind of the premise of the idea of that name. I wanted to get y'all's thoughts and what you guys think of that term and maybe changing it. It's kind of the same as biblically discerning, I suppose, but it adds a little extra to it, I think. Anyway, let me know what you think in the question, whatever it's called. Not a comment section, but there's like this little question thingy. Anyway, that's all. Have a blessed day, week, month, year, life. Bye.